and welcome back to your semester here in spring 2021 at the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. As you know, I'm your Pre-Health Pathways Advisor, Dr. J, and previously we've been doing emails that were called This Week in Pre-Health emails, talking about all of the things that were coming up, not just in this week, but this week and beyond, for things on campus and off campus, and anything really that related to pre-health students. I appreciate your patience with those emails. I know it's been a lot of information and many of you don't have time to sift through all of that, but I had thought it was better to give you everything and let you figure out what was relevant to you than it was to not give you all of the information. But now we're kind of revamping the way that we are communicating with you guys, and the way that we want to do that now is to have all of that information available through our blog, the Atrium, which hopefully you've already found to be helpful and are already familiar with, but we're going to give it a little bit of a revamp for this semester, where we're including most of the information that was in those weekly emails on the blog. So you'll be able to go and find specific events that are happening beyond this week on the blog, and you can mark your calendars for things that are 2 or 3 weeks out or several months out, to be able to keep up with all of those different opportunities that are available to you as a pre-health student. We will be doing these weekly videos where I will give you an update on some of the things that are happening specifically this week in pre-health, both here on campus and in the broader pre-health community. And I will give you some reminders of some upcoming things and give you a little bit of the latest news in some short tidbits as well. So we'll be able to sort of keep in contact, and hopefully you'll be more able to watch a video that gives you some of the latest updates and things you need to be aware of as a pre-health student, rather than getting a really long text-heavy email update each week. But again, all of that information will be available to you through the blog, so you're not losing information, you're just changing the way that you're going to be accessing that information. So with that, welcome to the new venue for our This Week in Pre-Health videos, and we'll start with talking about what's new. Obviously these videos are new, so this form of communication is new, and I'm looking forward to being able to engage with all of you in a little bit more meaningful way each week through this video rather than through email, which is a little boring sometimes, let's be honest. Some of the other new things, like I said, our blog has been revamped, so you'll have some new tabs, and in the This Week in Pre-Health email that you open to be able to access this video, you'll find that we have put things like what the new tabs are going to be, what the new pages are going to be on the blog, so you'll be able to figure out where you're going to find things like the upcoming professional development workshop or the open house that a school you're interested in is doing. So those will be things that you can check out in the bullet points of the much shorter This Week in Pre-Health email. Another thing that we're doing is starting a Pre-Health Pathways YouTube channel. This video, as you already know, is one of our first ones, but we'll be adding new content each week with these This Week in Pre-Health videos, and we'll also be adding content such as digital workshops or informational kinds of videos, as well as recordings of Zoom meetings that would be relevant to pre-health students. So be on the lookout for those things. This brings me to our next segment, known as Important News and Reminders, things that you should keep in mind for the weeks ahead. The first thing that I want to remind you about, you should have gotten an email about this, but if you haven't, here's your opportunity to hear it for the first time. Dr. Pritchard is going to be teaching a class called SOC 492, Health and Society, and this is a really great upper-level sociology class for anyone wanting to go into any area of healthcare. It's going to talk a lot about the American healthcare system, about health disparities, both in our country and in other countries, and it's also going to talk a lot about mental health and the societal perspective on mental health. So those are all really important topics for those of you who want to enter into a career in healthcare. And if you're looking for an extra class to fill some space, or if you're just interested in maybe taking an extra class this semester, this would be a really good one for you. And there are details to that in the This Week in Pre-Health email that came along with this video. Another important thing is that the West River Area Health Education Center's Scholars Program is now open for applications for the upcoming cohort. We've had 2 current students and 1 alum who have participated in the AHEC Scholars Program in the past, and they have very positive feedback. If you'd like to get in touch with any of those folks, let me know and I can put you in contact so that you can ask them specific questions. We've also had representatives from the West River AHEC come and talk to students about the Scholars Program, and I can put you in contact with any of them if you'd like to know more. But this is a really great program for professional development for people who want to go into healthcare. And normally this is a program for people who are already in a health profession, like people in a nursing program or already accepted into medical school. But because in the West River area of South Dakota, we only have one med school and we have 2 nursing programs, and we have a very limited applicant pool, we got special permission to open it up to pre-health students. So this is a really unique opportunity for you as a pre-health student to get engaged in some of this rural healthcare training that goes on as part of the AHEC Scholars Program. So it's also another shiny thing you can put on your resume, and you'll learn a lot, and it will help you to be more successful in your professional program, whichever ones you decide to go into later. There are also several opportunities that have become available lately for gaining healthcare experiences at local clinics or other local institutions that are related to healthcare. So be sure and check those out on the blog under the Explore and Grow page, where you can see the listings for those different opportunities to gain some clinical experiences. And finally, we are entering into the spring semester, and for those of you who are pre-med, you know what that means. Getting ready for the MCAT. So we are going to be hosting 2 mock MCAT exams, one at the end of January and one in March prior to spring break. If you're interested in signing up to take either of those mock MCATs, please get to me as soon as you can. Space is very limited this semester because we are adhering to social distancing regulations and COVID-19 protocols. So we're going to have a fewer number of slots available. However, if we get a lot of students interested in doing the mock MCAT, we might be able to open up some additional dates. Have one on a Saturday and one on the following Sunday for different students. So please get to me ASAP if you're interested in that, so that we know whether or not we need to open up a second day, and so that we can accommodate all of you who want to take a mock MCAT in your ability to do that. The mock MCAT does have a fee associated with it. That is a $25 fee, and we'll give you more details on that if you're interested in signing up to take one this year. And one last thing about the mock MCAT, I will be giving priority to students who are planning to take the MCAT this semester because space is limited. However, if you just want to get some practice in, please still reach out to me. I've had freshmen and sophomores take the mock MCAT long before they ever take it for real, and it is a very valuable experience from what I've heard from other students. So definitely take that into consideration as you're thinking about how you're going to be preparing for that exam if you're a pre-med student. And that brings us to events for the week. So I will go through on these This Week in Pre-Health videos, just going through each day, telling you what's going on each day of this wonderful week that we're on. And for this week, we don't really have anything going on today or tomorrow. That's kind of nice because you're still getting settled in and getting the semester off to a good start and getting your classes under your belt. But we do have a few things coming up later this week. So on Wednesday, January 13th, we are going to be starting our weekly physiology challenge. So last semester it was anatomy, this semester it's physiology. I have my board behind me and we are all set and ready for you to come in, answer questions, gain points and glory, and work your way up that leaderboard so that you can try to claim your free t-shirt at the end of the semester. So that is something that you can do in person by dropping into my office on Wednesday mornings, or you can drop into the Zoom call between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Wednesday mornings if you would like to do that remotely as well. So be sure and check that out. Links to the Zoom are in the This Week in Pre-Health email that's attached with this video. The other thing that is happening on Wednesday is we do have a Pancheros fundraiser for the Mines Emergency Medical Services Club, so be sure to get yourself a burrito or a burrito bowl or a salad or whatever you'd like and support that awesome organization. And if you're not already a member and you're interested in emergency medicine, get the To Mines link and get a hold of the people on the contact list so that you can join that awesome student org. Moving on to Thursday, January 14th, we have a number of events that are going to be going on that may be of interest to some of you. So the first thing is that the Mayo Clinic is going to be offering some career exploration webinars, and there will be a series of these, the first of which will be offered on Thursday of this week. It will be from 12 to 1 Mountain Standard Time, and this is going to be through our Handshake platform. So there's instructions in the email about how to access those webinars. So check that out if you have an interest in maybe someday working for the Mayo Clinic. SUNY Optometry is also going to be offering a free virtual open house that day. So if you have an interest in optometry, be sure to click the link in the email and go check out that virtual open house. And finally, we have a local event that is happening through Facebook Live. We have a place here in downtown Rapid City called the Cave Collective, and they are doing a series of community presentations known as the Collective Conversations series, and they're going to be doing all of these again through Facebook Live. The one for Thursday is called How Art Can Heal Pandemic Stress, and this is going to be presented by a local psychiatrist, Dr. Stephen Manlove, who runs the Manlove Brain and Body Health Clinic here in town. So that should be a really good presentation. It's free to attend, and again, you can attend that virtually. Links in the email for you. And finally, for Friday of this week, just a couple of little things. The first one is that Monument Health Rapid City Hospital is doing virtual grand rounds. For those of you who have been here for a while, grand rounds is an activity that we used to take students to in person at the hospital. They're fantastic presentations from local and professionals outside of Rapid City, and it is always a really good way to expand your knowledge and your understanding of healthcare concepts and some of the hot topics and issues that are happening in healthcare today. It also gives you a chance to kind of get to know some of the local professionals. That networking piece is going to be a little bit less available to you in a virtual space, but it still is something that's going to be worth your time. So if you have a chance on Friday mornings at 7:30, you'll be able to log in and check out Grand Rounds. Right now, most of the Grand Rounds topics are centered around conversations related to COVID-19 and sort of getting updates on what's going on with the pandemic. So that may be a lot of what we're going to be hearing about at Grand Rounds on Friday mornings. So that will be the topic for this coming Friday. And again, if you don't have an 8 o'clock class, or if you do have an 8 o'clock class, but you want to be able to catch the first 30 minutes before you go to class, you've got that option available to you. So be sure to check those things out. The only other announcement for Friday is that for those of you who are in our Fevers program, we will be having our first meeting of the semester at 10 a.m. and I hope to see you there. And if you are not a member of our Fevers program, I'd encourage you to consider it. And if you've never even heard of our Fevers program, shoot me an email and I will send you more information about it. It's a pre-health professional development organization, and it'd be good for any and all of you who are listening to this video to be a part of that program. And that's everything that I have for you this week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and if you have any questions, let me know. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the coming semester, whether it's in person with masks and distancing, or whether it's just in virtual spaces. So hope your semester gets off to a great start. Thanks, and we'll see you around.